Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse.
And I'm Keegan Lassard. Welcome back, bud.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a while
Yeah,
because we didn't.
genuinely missed you.
Oh, really? I missed you too, guy.
Gibbs, you miss him?
He said no. Dude, who? All right, I don't know who we
I
hired.
mean,
This
he might be
guy,
a little salty by the back-to-back editing he had to do, but
or a little bit salty about the fact that we don't pay him.
I mean, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It sounds like I missed a lot while I was gone.
Dude, you missed you took a very specific time to go on a camping trip because as soon as you left Chicago, shit was dropping news left and right from
Yeah,
all areas of entertainment.
because I was like in the remote areas of Utah and like I had no service for like half of it. Like in the early days of the trip, I like was in Salt Lake City and I had service and like I was able to keep up, but I was like all like I know Gamescom is coming up and then Call of Duty's event is happening. And by that time, like I was in like Moab, Utah and and like Zion National Park and all these other areas. And like they had some service, but then like when I go to the campsite, there'd be like zero. So it'd be
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm just off the grid for a little bit.
How was it though? You guys enjoy your trip?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like there was one day where we hiked for like 8 hours in a river. Like like straight up it
8
sounds crazy,
hours?
right? Yeah, sounds crazy. But then like I essentially started at like, I don't know, 10 a.m. or something. And then
Okay.
like we turned around because it was like uphill in a river, like in these boots and like hiking sticks. So like it was like pretty aggressive. But
I'm
we
just
turned
picturing
around.
sorry. I just can't picture you as, a super outdoorsy,
Oh, I mean, like
hiker, you know?
I'm not like in the sense that like, okay, I'm gonna go get my gear and stuff, but like if I go for rental stuff, like because I don't do this very often, like
Yeah.
you best believe I'm out there just getting after it. Like at the beginning, I was like real ginger with it. Like I was like trying to like not fall over. And by the end, I was just like blasting through it, like passing people, just like get out the way.
That's funny.
But yeah, it took us like 4.5 hours, or not 4.5, like almost 4 hours on the way out. But then when we
Okay.
turned around, we kind of like knew what we were doing a little bit, and it got like to waist high water at sometimes, but you had to like jump on rocks to like avoid swimming. And we got back in like 2 hours. And I was like, dang, the fact that like once you know what you're doing and going with the stream, we cut off like almost 2 hours. That was crazy. But
Jeez. Were you
yeah.
exhausted? Because you're also not, staying in a hotel, you're, camping. So it's not like you're sleeping on, a nice bed or something.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm used to like the concept of camping at least. Like it's been a while since I've been on an air mattress in a tent, but like it didn't really bother me too much. Like I was able to fall asleep and wake up energized enough. Like if anything, I got more sleep because I wasn't staying up till 2 in the morning. Like I was
That's
going to
fair.
bed at like
That's fair.
9:30 or 10 to get prepared for the next day. Getting up at like one day we got up at 4:30 to see the sunrise at one of these like Arches National
Yeah.
Park, and it was well worth it, but, like, I was pretty wiped, like, towards the end of the day, but
And it's
I
not
don't
like
know,
you're
man.
you're camping in the Midwest where it's muggy and it doesn't actually ever cool off at night, so
Yeah, true. Cause like, Utah areas, like, the weather is kinda, like, all over because sometimes you'll get, like, up to 100 something, like, we got, like, 107 in, like, Moab and other areas, but then when we went to Bryce Canyon, it was, like, not so hot, and then at night, it got down to, like, 60 something, and I was
yeah.
like, "Where did this come from? I'm cold." Like, it was really weird, but luckily we were prepared for that, but yeah, Utah, honestly, like, didn't expect it to be like it was because when I think of Utah, I think, like, Salt Lake City, and, like, they have the salt flats, right? And I've seen Bryce Canyon, but I haven't seen the stuff in between. And
Yeah.
the funniest part to me about Utah is how fast the landscape changes. Like, I would be driving for 2 hours, like, we would probably get, like, an hour to 2 hours between parks and where we were
Yeah.
going. Bro, in an hour, I would see bright red canyons, then all of a sudden, like, gray mountains, then just, like, completely flat, then, like, giant rivers going through other canyons and stuff. And then like we would get up to like temperate forest where it's like, oh, this is like forest fire weather, but it looks like big mounds with like what do you call them? Ponderosas. And I'm like,
Yeah.
am I in the same state? Like oftentimes I'm like, we're still in Utah, right? And then we'd be like, oh yeah, okay. Well, this is crazy. Like, how did they claim this much of the landscape? Like there's so much, even though it's like not the biggest state.
Yeah, Utah's a pretty cool state. I think it's overlooked a lot because a lot of people they'll hear Utah and then they go, "Oh, Mormons, stay away from that state." like,
Yeah.
but it's actually a lot of cool stuff. Like Post Malone just moved there,
I
and
know.
like
We
on
have a
the Joe Rogan
friend that we
podcast.
met up with, and she like actually knows or not knows him, but like met him. Like she worked an event
Whoa.
there and got to meet him, and like he lives in like Park City.
Yeah, and like he was talking about it on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, like I loved Utah. Like why?" And like it just sounds weird to hear somebody like say how much they appreciate living there.
Yeah.
And but I don't know why that has such a stigma around it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool state.
Yeah.
I haven't been in there enough. Like I've been to Salt Lake. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of people just think of Salt Lake City, and then they kind of overlook the fact that it has a bunch of other stuff. Like Southern Utah is where a lot of the cool things are at, and I'd have to say like Zion National Park might have been like the most beautiful place I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff. But
But
now you got to
man,
catch me
did
up on
you
what did I
you
miss?
missed so much. I'm just gonna start rattling it off, man. Like, so we got DC Fandome, tons of stuff. We got Call of Duty Black Ops getting announced. We got Nvidia event, Netflix news, Big Sean released an album. I bought Madden. We got Black Panther died. We
Hold
got the
on,
Gamescom. We got
hold on. You did
what
not just say that.
what the Call of Duty news. I know it's pretty new. It's pretty crazy.
As if you'd be excited about that. You bought Madden?
Yeah,
Why?
I may or may not have bought Madden, and it may or may not
Uh,
have been the day before it came out.
did you buy the standard or did you go like all the way to the deluxe crap?
Oh, I bought the standard. I never buy the
Uh,
deluxe crap because I don't play like
well, you
Ultimate
thought
Team.
you accidentally bought the deluxe version of Fall Guys, so I don't know if you're just hand slipped and all of a sudden you're spending $90 on Madden. But come on, man, why'd you do that? I heard it was garbage actually. When I started doing a little bit of research like on what I had missed, I saw that like people were pretty upset, unsurprisingly, about how buggy it was and how NFL should drop
It-
EA as a company.
Here's the well, wow,
He
that's a
goes, well,
lot.
when you put it that way.
I'm not here to defend Madden by any means. Why I buy it, I don't know. It's like this thing that happens every year that we've talked about this countless times.
Yeah,
But
but you had
my
given up.
reasons,
I had
my
convinced
reasons.
you.
Yeah, you might have, but here's my reasons. One, peer pressure. Two, I am craving sports games. Like literally the past 2 months, I've been just nonstop like thinking about playing sports games. Been playing NBA 2K19, not even 2K20. I was like really wanting another sports game. It got so bad that when Co Carnage was playing PGA Tour on his Twitch stream, for like a hot minute, I was thinking about purchasing PGA. And
Wow, dude, I
that's
would have
even
been like,
uglier.
I would have
That's
roasted you so hard if that was the case. I would have been like, you
yeah.
might as well have bought Madden at
And
that
then one
point.
of my friends said he got it as a gift and he was gonna boot it up. I was like, there's a
What,
little
the PGA or
yeah,
Madden?
yes. PGA.
Dude, who's gifting that? That's like a curse more than a blessing.
So to me, it was the less ugly choice of just buying PGA or like 2K or FIFA, like one games I just don't genuinely have friends that play it, right? So then I was like talking to a couple friends. And I'm like, "Hey, are you guys getting mad?" And I've heard some bad reviews. And like, we're in it. We already bought it. And I'm like, "All right, bet." And I just downloaded it. And my thing about some of the reviews that came out early on, they were playing the early release that they paid for, right? With the deluxe, you can get it like 24 hours in advance or something. And a
Mhm.
lot of reviewers got it a lot before then. And it's on EA for giving out a buggy ass game early.
Yeah.
But the bugs that they mentioned, I saw zero at 11 o'clock when I booted or midnight when I booted it up from the pre-download. like people were talking about how they forgot to import the lines on the field, and it's
I
like
saw,
bugs.
like, one where, like, in the career mode or whatever, their franchise mode, like, their character was just a ghost, like, he
Yeah.
didn't get rendered.
So a lot of that stuff, like on launch day, they patched. So like all these things that people were bashing them for, I didn't personally see. So I was just genuinely going through it, and I already have beef with the fact that they've ignored the franchise mode. And if you go online, you could find tons of reviewers that are OG Madden players that roasted EA for yet again ignoring us again. So to me, this game's just kind of an update to Madden 18, basically. Like the game mode I've played consistently hasn't changed since then, but I'll give it that it's smooth on launch. I haven't seen any major bug issues while playing the game. Connectivity, I haven't had zero issues with head to head. So like a lot of the issues some people were reporting, I was like, I still haven't experienced any of those. The new game mode is interesting, where it's kind of like, you know how 2K has like you have your player and he can go around a virtual world to play
Yeah,
pickup games and stuff. They're kind of incorporating that now. I personally don't really play it that often, but I think it's interesting at least.
yeah.
But I don't think it's enough for them to just totally ignore one of their most popular game modes. So the payout of these new game modes that's causing us to be ignored on the franchise mode isn't, in my opinion, worth it. It's not like that much greater to the game. Um I still enjoy it. I don't think it's worth the new purchase, but I'll enjoy picking up Madden again and playing with my buddies, like as like a revamp to get back into it. Like, because you play a game until like December, February, and you keep playing franchises, and like it'll get old after a while. So now it's come full circle to like it's that time of year again.
Y'all paid $60 to talk online again. Congrats.
Yeah, basically. But I will say it might be the only football that's really entertaining this year. So we'll see.
I still can't believe you bought that. Cause like, well, I guess this kinda happened with Crusader Kings too. Cause I was well, technically Crusader Kings 3 as well,
Yeah.
not Kings 2. I can't even get the words out of my mouth. But, like, I was like, "Oh, like, you weren't gonna get that," and you're like, "Oh, I didn't make that call," and I was like, "Well, Madden," and then you're like, "Oh, I didn't make that call." And then I saw this news when I came back. You sent it to me, and I was like, I couldn't even be upset, but I was like, dude, like this is just an L on a plate in your timeline, not your money, because it's a W for money. But Crusader Kings 3 is now included with Game Pass, so congrats, you're screwed.
And I played it for a bit, and it's nice. Here's the thing. Another part of that though is it made me re-update my Xbox on PC like app. So they have Console Companion, which is like the main thing people use to make parties online with the
Mhm.
Windows app. But now they have just the general Xbox application for Windows 10. It's kind of in beta, and it's like their launcher, and it is a really sleek application that makes it really simple for a launcher for your Game Pass. And it made me realize there's way more games on Game Pass that I want to play on PC. So I'm kind of getting back to like compensated for my Xbox Ultimate plan.
Is Crusader Kings on PC?
Yep. So Crusader Kings 3 is on PC. All of Paradox strategy games are on PC. Wastelanders 3, which just came out, is on PC. My friend Pedro, which I've been wanting to play, is on PC. They have a lot of Game Pass stuff that's on PC and is available for download. So it's nice to know that like that launcher has potential value for me. Like kind of the same way Epic Game Store, you get all those free games, and it's like, oh, cool. I'm glad I still have that installed on my computer. Now with Xbox being on my computer, I can see the actual potential of having the Game Pass, because even with my Xbox going away with PS5, I'll still have the Game Pass Ultimate for the reason that I get all these games for free that I normally would have paid for. So that was cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, good luck on finishing games ever again, because you just
well,
listed off a bunch of games that I bet you any money you're not gonna see the credits roll on.
hold on, hold on. But finishing games wise, another news you missed, finished Star Wars. So even
Yeah,
though I
but
made
that
it,
wasn't a Game Pass game, my guy, so, like
I know, but I'm just saying, you roast me for Madden, which is fair, but at the same time, I'm still on track with what I was planning to do this fall. So
Well, I'll applaud you there. You're balancing out your ugliness, but I still think that Madden is like top tier level ugly.
yeah, like yeah. I can't even argue it, man. It's because it's not even that great. Like it's literally Madden 20. But
As long
I
as you
will
realize, that's all I
yeah, I
need.
you know what? I am an ugly individual. um
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
um but yeah, I beat Star Wars, which I'm excited to dive into the gameplay that I've recorded for that so I can create a video for you viewers out there. I think you'll be shocked by my reaction to it. I know it's like hella late, but I'm gonna kind of give his best deep dive and fresh views as I can to that Star Wars game, and kind of give my hopes for future Star Wars games so they don't make the same mistakes.
Coming from one of the hardest core nerdy Star Wars dudes you'll meet.
That's me. Um, One thing though, like, I'm just gonna give a little sneak peek. The fucking Wookiees in that game are so ugly. They look like just walking turds, dude. They look
Is it because like
so
the
bad.
hair isn't animated properly?
I think it's because they incorporated the hair. You know how like wavy that dude's hair is? Like in the cutscenes, it's like really stringy, and
Mm-hmm.
they spent so much time on it. They just like covered the Wookiee's body with the hair like that, so it just doesn't look defined at all.
Uh,
It's so ugly.
they were trying to mess with the hair physics, but didn't really work
It
out
was
for 'em.
so bad. It was so bad. Um, so that was kind of. I mean, ultimately, I'll kind of save my total thoughts for that game, but there was definitely some disappointing aspects of that Star Wars game for sure.
But did you like it in the long term?
I enjoyed the fact that I played it. I'm glad that I took the time to actually buy it and play it because I definitely could have missed this one. Like there, if I didn't think about it and spend the time, I might have just been like, I missed the window.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
especially
that's
with
where I'm at.
Cyberpunk,
I
it's
I don't think I'm gonna go back.
I don't I don't if you're an avid Star Wars fan, like, and you're like me that has a stacked fall ahead of you, you missed the window. It's not worth the time for the stuff that's gonna come out, in my
No.
opinion. So, if you didn't jump on it in July, June, it's you missed the window, and you maybe you'll come back in
Well, didn't it
2021.
come out last fall?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it is. I mean, it's not old by any means, but like it's old in the in the stance that like you
for a
really can
review,
only
it
play
is.
games when they come out if you plan to like keep up, which you can't
Yeah.
really keep up.
But man, let's run down some more of this news because I mean, we have basically what's in front of me right now, at least 4 episodes of news, like
And we're trying to fit
easily.
it in an hour, all right? Like let's get after it.
All right, Chadwick Boseman,
What the heck, man?
rip,
I did not see that coming. Like that
dude.
is
You know what's the
really
worst part?
unfortunate.
The worst part is like when COVID was first starting hitting, he had a video that he was really skinny in,
Mhm.
and the internet roasted him for it, and were calling him all. They were doing some nasty things,
Jeez.
and now the context. I bet people are scrubbing their Twitter, like,
Oh,
like,
probably, yeah.
but yeah, he had colon cancer for 4 years. That only I'm sure only like Marvel executives, his family, and him knew about,
Yeah.
and
So that
the
that
fact
wasn't public knowledge.
that was not
Okay,
like,
because I
dude.
felt like I had missed out on it, but I guess that
I'll
like
tell
that
you
wouldn't be
one
something
thing.
you would openly really
His
talk about.
team his team are some loyal people, like, no leaks for 4 years.
Yo, that's he gets like, yo, I applaud you for the no leaks. That's
That's
fair.
impressive. What's more impressive is he did all those movies he did. I mean, he was Jackie Robinson,
Yeah.
Black Panther. To do a Marvel superhero movie while battling cancer, it's just a mountain of strength.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I mean, he did an excellent job for like already, but then to add that on top, like that's crazy.
yeah. And he was an Advent, like, he would go to, St. Jude's a lot to
Mhm.
visit kids struggling with cancer. I mean, it's amazing what he did. So, super sad, and it's just 2020, kicking us while we're down.
2028 ain't the year to be I don't know. Like I just trying to forget it, you know? Like,
I think
that
we're gonna have not a shortage of hospital stuff. We're gonna have a shortage of therapists by the end of this shit, dude. I think.
good, yeah.
I mean, damn. I don't know what my immediate thought was is like, how is this gonna affect for the already announced Black Panther 2? I don't know how much they filmed or it's kind of a Princess Leia situation where they're in
Yeah.
the middle of a couple things, a couple projects. Like, what are they gonna do? I really hope they don't recast. In my opinion, I
I
think.
mean, given the track record of recent films and deaths, like, I forget the name. What's the guy from Hunger Games, that passed away? He was the heavier set guy with
Oh,
the
Philip
glasses.
Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he passed away, and, like, they had most of it recorded, but I think they did some CGI, right? Or something.
I'm not sure on that one. I
Maybe
really
not.
am not.
But
I'm really
Paul
not.
Walker, they did some CGI for, the Fast and Furious movies, and then, yeah, Carrie Fisher in Star Wars, so, like, if they already have some filming done, I'd assume they'd just finish it, and then they might have to try to, like, write it out or, like, write in a different person, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I've seen both sides. I've seen both sides of people that are thinking it would be disrespectful if they recasted. Some people think it'd be more empowering if they kept the Black Panther strong.
You can't
It's
please everybody.
you
You
can't.
literally
It's
cannot. Like, this is what I hate about Twitter because the news comes out, right? And then
yeah,
everybody goes on and then they throw their opinions, and then it's just like you just see how polarized people are. And it's just like, well, nobody's changing anybody's mind. Like,
yeah,
you make one decision and like you're gonna piss off somebody. So
yeah. So that's sad. It's sad. Truly tragic. Um, onto like more happy news. I lost my mind during DC fandom.
yeah,
I
why is
was
that?
a happy kiddo. I'm gonna rattle off what you missed. All
Did you
right.
stay up for the whole 24 hours or are we just getting a little recap?
No, they did like remember how like G4 way back in the day when
Hmm.
E3 would go on, they would just replay the conferences on like set schedule through
Yeah.
cable. They kind of did the similar thing on theirs.
Oh, okay, I get you. I mean, that makes more sense. I was like, how are they gonna spread this amount of content across 24 hours? Like, what
Yeah,
is
and
this?
they also saved. They're gonna do it again in later September to do some
Okay.
more things they wanted to reveal, but they didn't feel like they could do a 24-hour
Yeah.
window.
I mean, that's the new pattern right now, like doing not seasons, episodes of reveal content. So
It's smart. I'm gonna go through the news and then I'm gonna give my full take of like what they achieved
we're
because it
going
was
full
wild.
take.
So
Okay,
first of all,
okay.
Wonder Woman 1984, we got the first look at Cheetah, the villain. We
Hmm.
got a new trailer and then we had a Q&A with the cast. All went smooth and I was really pumped
Was
for
it a
the Cheetah.
live stream or was this pre-recorded?
So it was revealed live, but it's definitely pre-recorded.
But like that makes you happy, right? Because you said like we
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
part of
those
my
lazy reveals.
that's
So
what I'm talking about. All right. So they definitely had that, but they had interactions back and forth. It felt really like the way that DC fandom, the way they had their virtual setup, it looked nice. Like it just felt professional. It felt clean cut.
mhm.
Anyways, so we got a first look at that, and we got a brand new trailer, and it kind of stoked the hype for that. Then after Wonder Woman, we had The Sandman, which I don't think you know is it's a graphic novel by Neil Gaiman, really popular DC comic series. Um, they just reconfirmed that the Netflix production is going well and it's going to be coming out soon. So there's a lot of hype behind it because like the Sandman's are really like acclaimed and it's like kind of on a pedestal of graphic
Mhm.
novels. All right, so
This
that's
this
gonna come out.
Sandman is a lot different than Marvel Sandman. When
Yes,
I hear Sandman, I'm thinking like Peter
it's
Parker,
like it's like about like
Spider-Man 3 with
it's
Venom.
not that kind of Sandman. No, it's a little bit darker, and he doesn't have that power. It's just like time,
Okay.
like he controls time.
Also, it's like the sands of time sort of Sam. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, I see. You got really I don't know what yeah.
yeah, you got it. Batwoman season 2, whatever. We can move past that. The
Okay.
Flash season 7. Okay, yeah, it's still going on. Great. That's basically was my reactions when that news was coming up.
That's
Then they
not what
brought
you
up the
came for.
yeah. Then the Titans got brought up, which I really like that show on DC's streaming service. they confirmed season 3 and they're going back to Gotham. So they're going to be introducing a lot more Batman villains into that show, which I'm very excited for. There's teasing of the fact that Jason Todd's Robin might go more towards Red Hood. Super stoked. That doesn't mean anything to you, and you're like,
Does it?
whatever,
I'm
dude.
literally just nodding in my head, like,
Then we got
mm-hmm.
some more details on the Flash movie. They're kind of confirming that they're moving towards the Flashpoint series, which Flashpoint series is the graphic novel run of the Flash going in between different dimensions
Mm-hmm.
to save the world kind of thing. And that's what I brought up last week when you were talking about how the Flash can go different dimensions. This is kind of opening up the DC movie universe to that knowledge base of different dimensions. So
Okay.
it should widen the gap for possibilities for them to develop movies. Really exciting. There's talks of Michael Keaton being involved, so his Batman will be there when Ben Affleck's Batman will be there as well. Kind of those kind of things are being fleshed out.
Okay.
Ben Affleck will be in this movie, so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I saw some news about that before I left.
Then we got the Suicide Squad, the movie revamp. The just throw the last movie in the dumpster. This movie gonna be revamping it.
So like we're pretending it never happened.
As far as my knowledge goes, that's kind of how they're going.
Okay.
Um, I'm super excited about it. James Gunn's running it, which he did Guardians of the Galaxy.
Uh-huh.
I think it's gonna be good. I think people are gonna have a different concept of it because the last Suicide Squad was really dark and grimy, and he's kind of going more comic-y with pulling from like really weird villains and anti-heroes that were on the Suicide Squad in the comics, like Polka Dot Man,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Batman villain. And he's like picking these really interesting, like John Cena's gonna be the Peacemaker. You got Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother that was in Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be Weasel. So there's these um different like true to the comic characters that look like gimmicky, but
Mm-hmm.
are like would make us comic fans kind of happy. So we'll see how it goes. It looks good. I'm willing to give it a second chance because I think the Suicide Squad is great. It's got Idris Elba in it, Michael Rooker, Pete Davidson, Nathan Fillion, Sean Gunn, John Cena. It has a ton of people in it. Margot Robbie's in it. So
Got a good
I'm really
cast.
hoping it pans out.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Right.
more. All right, let's
There's
get
more.
it.
Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer came out. And
Oh, so you've seen something.
I saw Darkseid, and it makes me super happy. I'm really excited for it. HBO Max confirmed that it'll be a 4 hour, and it'll be divided into 4 parts, 1 hour parts, like kind of like a series thing.
And oh, so they're gonna release it over time.
I know. I think it's all been once. It's just they're. I don't know. That's what it's gonna be into 4 1 hour pieces. Is what they said. Um,
Interesting. So
and
like
so I'm
that
excited
4
because
hours though is like that's the whole movie. It's not, or is it like in some of that might be like commentary or bonus features
no,
stuff.
that's the whole movie.
Jeez, dude, why is it so long?
Dude,
It's like King
it
Kong
makes me
level.
so happy because like all the fans just wanted Zack Snyder to go run with it. And so I think HBO is finally kind of letting that happen. I'm excited. Like it's gonna be good.
And what if
Then we
it's
got
trash?
Black
You
Adam
just
giving
not
a
even.
teaser. Dwayne Johnson voicing over a Black Adam teaser, which was the artwork was done by that Boss Logic guy on Instagram. That you've seen him do a lot of his Photoshop stuff with superheroes, I'm
Mhm.
sure. Well, he teamed up with the Black Adam crew, and they did this kind of like frame by frame concept art of the Black Adam's like history and like Dwayne Johnson's doing a voiceover with it, giving a teaser for eventually his movie, which is going to be huge.
Mhm.
Uh, it's likely they'll come out in 2021, so not too far off. 2021 is going to be slapping with movies, dude.
Well,
Like
yeah,
we're
because
just gonna
let's just let's we've been holding back. Like let the floodgates loose again.
and then we kind of dip back down, and it's like Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 are confirmed, and they're still working on it 2022. And we're like, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. And then they slap you again with the Batman trailer
This
for
is
Matt
what
Reeves'
you
Batman.
have been waiting for.
And boy, am I stoked. Like, literally, they nailed it on the head of what I want out of this next movie. I want a detective-y young Batman who is pissed the fuck off. His parents just recently died. He is like gunning for an opportunity to save the city. So there's a lot of hype around it. A lot of people are speculating what like comic series this is gonna depict. There's rumors it's the Long Halloween. There's rumors Court of Owls vibe. I personally think it's probably gonna be Batman Hush, which is him following a detective trail of a serial killer gone loose in Gotham. In Gotham,
Mhm.
um, Riddler and a lot of other villains make their appearance. It would make the most sense. Um, I don't know. We haven't got any confirmation. They're still recording it, but the trailer that they give is not a small teaser by any means. It's like a full on trailer. So I was more than happy. Is they gave more information than I thought they were gonna like actually give us. We saw the Catwoman, we saw a mysterious villain duct taping a dead body. Like it was pretty gruesome. We saw some Riddler nods. So I'm super excited for what DC has to offer. And honestly, let me double check my notes here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so now I can give my full take because that's pretty much in a nutshell all the crazy shit that got announced during DC Fandom. In between all of that, there's Q&As. There were kind of like cool fan art they were displaying and all kinds of different like subset reveals, which was really nice. But yeah, the pre-recording of it all and it being technically live, but it was a live release of a pre-recorded virtual event made the most sense because they had 22 million people on their site
Like,
watching this.
live viewers.
That was the number they said at the 24-hour event that they had 22 million viewers.
Oh, so, like, over the 24 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
worldwide,
Yeah, that's
22
still
million.
crazy. That's nuts.
And so to for them to be like, we're gonna do our own site, we're not gonna go like through Twitch or something or YouTube. We're gonna do our site. You come to us. We have a pre-recorded event, green screen. We did all the visuals of it. You can tell that they recorded through maybe a Zoom or some sort of video conferencing, but they did it prior, so they cut it around so you didn't see like if somebody goes like, did they cut that out so you don't have to hear you don't have to see it. It
Yeah.
doesn't look unprofessional. So some people knocked on it for it being heavily edited. I go the other way. I still want to see that. I think we can have these virtual events without having the problems that having Zoom meetings causes. Because then I'm just at work again. Then I'm wasting a Saturday to be on a Zoom conference call. I don't
Yeah.
want that. I want to be in a social event or some sort of fun virtual event like that. So kudos to DC. I'm gonna wrap that up. That's my viewpoints. It was awesome. I bought merch, so I'm gonna have DC Fandom t-shirts here pretty soon.
Man, you went full in. You sound pretty excited. Happy for you, even though I don't know half of it meant, but
Yeah.
it
Um,
should be good.
but before we like go towards like the Nvidia event, we could probably just quickly do Gamescom because it really wasn't like
Yeah, see,
that
this is
cool.
where I like came back and I just like looked it up. I just like took a little bit of recap perusing of like, oh, what was going on? And like I didn't really see anything that was like stand out or like really worth looking into except for like I saw two things that kind of stood out to me and it seemed like it was more focused on smaller indie games, but that game 12 minutes
Yeah,
where it's like that top down time bender game. I
yeah, I
was already
figured you might
kind of
bring that one up.
excited about that game in the past, but they had a Willem Dafoe narrating the trailer, so like he's in it, and then Daisy Ridley's in it, and a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
other like actual actors and actresses. So I was like, oh, like this is gonna be like we're
really
taking
stunning.
actual, like actors talent and putting it in the game. So if that makes it any better, we'll see. But like, I'm kind of pumped for it just because it's like one of those mind bender games, and I love those. So
Yeah, the only thing that really caught my eye was Dragon Age 4, which even then I like the Dragon Age series, but as it's gone on, it's to me it's gone downwards.
mhm.
I hope they can revamp it. I thought Dragon Age Inquisition was a solid step towards the modern era. I think they still have a long ways to go. So I hope the best for BioWare on this because I like the lore of Dragon Age. I just feel like the last like maybe couple games they just haven't nailed it. You know?
That's fair. We'll
Yeah,
have to see how it goes. I mean, I know some people were pumped and other people were like, "Oh, this again." So
yeah. It's definitely a hit or miss, and when it misses hard. But and then Sims 4 got their Star Wars DLCs coming, which is interesting.
how excited is your wife?
Not very.
Wow!
I
That
know.
combines two of her favorite things. How is she not?
Uh, Not very. I think it's because when you think about Sims and the people that play Sims, they chances are they want to feel like it's real life. They want to design and architect. You know, they want furniture that they could see themselves buying. The ones that play it like come
Yeah,
constantly.
I
So
get
like
that,
this
but,
is kind of
like,
an interesting step.
you can only do that for so long, though. Cause like, I
You would think.
know you recently or not recently, but you have told me the amount of time she sunk into it, and I was pretty surprised, but, like, not all of that was doing the real life, like, stuff.
Right.
Cause she's had
Doing challenges and stuff.
other things, but, yeah, I thought she would've been a little bit more excited for Star Wars
Yeah,
content.
honestly, me too. But maybe she will. Maybe when she's once you see more stuff, and
She
then
doesn't get behind the hype like we do. It's just like, "Oh, it's out, like,
oh,
maybe I'll
boom.
just" there it
I
is.
wish I could be like that. I really wish because it taints sometimes the gaming experience.
I definitely agree because like, there's times, like, when I bought Persona 5, I had no hype for it because I didn't even know really anything about it. I kinda wanted Persona 4 when it came out, but I didn't have any way to play it. Well, excuse me, when Persona 4 Golden came out because that was a PS Vita game and I didn't have a PlayStation Vita. But when Persona 5 came out, I had no idea. I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Like, "I'm just gonna get it," and it turned out to be amazing. But now if
That
I had, years to hype it up, it would have been a little bit riskier. Now it delivered to those people, but now I'm gonna have the years until Persona 6. So if they don't deliver, it's gonna be like worse.
Yeah, I'm about to actually experience that because New Mutants is finally in theaters, and that got delayed like 3 years now. I think
Mhm.
that movie has, and now the AMC is back open. I'm gonna go see it tonight. And yeah, that's another news is the AMC theaters has been open again, and they've been open for about a week now or so. But they opened and they sold tickets at 15 cents a ticket on the opening day,
Did you
and
well, so you didn't go for that.
I didn't go for the opening day, but the opening weekend it was like $5 to go see Goonies, so it was fun. They
Cool.
had like Goonies, Back to the Future, Black Panther was in theaters, Back to the Future, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. So they played a lot of cool, interesting things that they got their hands on, and then New Mutants is out, Tenet is out now. Christopher Nolan's next movie is out in theaters. Um, so I'm probably gonna see that this week, but I just feel like after New Mutants has been delayed for so many times, I might as well just go see it in theaters. Like it might be terrible, but I might as well go see it. It's been delayed so often, and on opening it made $6 billion. So I mean, that's not
Damn.
terrible for during COVID.
True. I
So
don't even I don't even remember what New Mutants is, to be honest. Like,
it's an offshoot X-Men movie. That they decided to go a horror movie route with the
uh
mutants' powers and stuff like
bro,
that.
you are on a horror movie kick, and it's, like, frustrating to me because all right, this is I will say this. This is my first time where it's been like you hop on the bandwagon of something I've been trying to get you on after I leave. Because I was always that way with you, but I was always trying to get you to watch horror movies, not like actively, but it would be like, oh, like this movie looks good, and you're just like, nah. And then now you're watching the ones that I haven't even watched yet, and I'm like, damn, and you're liking them and stuff. So I'm like, it's just how the tables have turned. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, Midsummer was so good too. Like,
I still have to see it.
dude, like the thing about horror movies is like now they're just like actually good films. Like it's not just cheesy B-rated, like
That's
B
fair.
level movies. They're like they have like solid directors and solid writing and like if it has
Well,
those
like, you
criteria,
seem to like the psychological horror more because those are the ones that actually have the story that you're talking about. Because like, those cheap, scary ones are always the ones that, like, the spiritual and the crap, like it's almo or slasher, and it's almost never a good story, but, like, what is that studio, A24?
if they make it
Dude,
like
they stay pumping out bangers, like, all even if the movie doesn't perform as well, I love watching their
and
trailer.
Bloomhouse
Bloomhouse as
Productions.
well. But, like, anytime I see A24 pop up on a trailer, I'm like,
Oh
"Locked
man.
in, let's get scrapped."
'Cause
Because the trailer always, like, it just tickles you weird. Like, you're just kinda like, "Ugh," but then you're like, "Oh, this is, like, interesting." So, I don't
and when
know.
a trailer has music incorporated with like this the scenario, it has me hooked.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even wanna see Crawl, but, like, once they in the trailer, remember Crawl was like
Yeah,
that,
I
like,
do.
alligator or
The
whatever, and
alligator,
the
yeah.
drips were a part of
Yeah,
the
you were like, "Let me get in that."
but what other news do we got?
Rapid fire hit me with the last bits. Imma give, like, a one-sentence
Okay, okay.
reaction to 'em.
Netflix launches a free media for non-subs. They release a basically what they call watch free library for non-subscribers.
And is it just gonna have, like, rotating content on it probably?
Yep, like Bird Box, I think is one that they're confirmed to be in that library, and it'll
That's
just like
dope.
rotate.
Is it
Yeah,
gonna have ads?
they have
Bet.
not
It
confirmed that.
has to. No way it
Probably.
doesn't.
Crusader Kings 3 gets a perfect 10 out of 10 on IGN as a perfect strategy game for the modern era.
Yeah, you're sweating over there. You're loving that.
Oh, 100%. Big Sean announces his next album being released 9/4.
That's, like, soon.
Yeah,
That's, like, in
something
a
like
couple days. It'll be out by the time this releases.
yeah,
Alright, alright.
I
I'll
can't wait
listen.
for that. Joe Rogan is now on Spotify, now announcing with video podcasting being a thing on Spotify.
So
It's
wait, the
actually live
video
today,
is now live on there?
apparently.
Well, shit, let me go take a look. No, I'm just kidding. I'll do that after the after the episode.
September 1st, Joe Rogan and his entire library will be on Spotify for viewing.
That's today. Yeah, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else we got. Tim the Tatman finally won Fall Guys.
Dude, okay. I saw this before. I was so all right. This is funny. This is really funny. So we talked about it briefly in the last episode
Yeah.
because he hadn't won yet. But then, like, by the time it did release, he had won. He had pulled 130K by the time I had talked about it, about him losing. The day that he won, like, me and coworkers were like watching it, like chatting in Slack, like, "Oh, is this the one?" Like, we were all in it. He had like 350,000 people watching him.
Jeez.
He had the devs tweeting at him like, "You suck. You're never gonna get a crown." They were roasting him. And then, like, a lot of his streamer friends were on board. And then, like, he was playing with a group of his friends, like Nade Shot and some others. And then, like, Nade Shot fell down and he's like at the bottom. And I think it's just like him, Tim, and another guy. And then, like, Tim's like so hyper focused into it. And then, like Nade Shot falls and he wins and he just loses his mind. Everybody in the chat screaming, "I was here," like he did it. Then, like, he just tweets out a video of him, the clip of him winning, like, "I did it, like you said it couldn't be done," with just a crown. And he did it, like, hashtag he did it was trending on Twitter for
Oh
like the
wow.
rest of the day. It was hilarious. And, like, I don't think I've ever seen something like that happen on Twitch. Like, he says at one point when he's like distraught, he's like, "I'm not gonna do it." Like, he's so in his head. He's like, "You know what's funny? The internet is literally paused right now, watching me fail. Like, and then, like, his friends are texting him like, "Yo, can you just win already so I can get my viewers back?" Like, because if you looked at normal viewer counts for people,
Yeah,
it was way lower because 300,000 people are watching Tim.
that's
Like,
weird.
unbelievable, but it was really entertaining. But I can't believe that. So
Alright.
congrats to Tim the Tatman for winning.
Other news, Sony made a statement saying they want more of their first-party games to be available on PC.
That's dope, but the only thing that's not gonna happen is they're not gonna come anytime soon after releasing on PlayStation.
Yeah, it'll
Like,
take a while.
it's gonna be like what Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn were, where they, like, come out, like, a year or 2 later,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still cool.
Last bit, and I hinted at this earlier, Left 4 Dead 2 is getting a new update slash rework called The Last Stand.
Why? Just no. Make a new game, Valve. What is wrong? They're allergic to the number 3, alright? They don't have Half-Life 3, they don't have Left 4 Dead 3. They're like, "Let's milk an 11-year-old game," or however old this game is now, like,
Tell you,
dumb.
this is the year of remasters.
It's not
Um,
even a remaster, it's like, you remember this game that was popular way long ago? Let's do something for it. Like, that's just questionable to me.
Alright, now you have the floor for Nvidia because that's not
Bro,
my strong suit.
I need to you need to say it correctly. It's Nvidia,
Nvidia.
not Nvidia, Nvidia.
Nvidia.
Oh my goodness. It bothers me so much when you say it because it sounds so incorrect.
Nvidia, dude. What's wrong with saying Nvidia?
Because that's not what it's called.
So
That's
you
like
want me to
calling Xbox Xbox.
well,
That's
here's the
straight
thing,
up
if
how it
Xbox
is.
hold on. Hold on. Okay, never mind, I can't defend my point
Xbox
at all.
doesn't have a dash. It's just Xbox. Bet I'm looking it up right now. Xbox, let's just say one.
No,
Yeah,
I know it
Xbox, no dash. So it's basically just like saying Xbox. So please say Nvidia.
you just
Ju
I'm saying the way you're saying it,
No,
Nvidia.
you're saying Nvidia. Like you're supposed to say the letter N and then Nvidia.
Nvidia.
Like it's similar to like when people do like effects, but they just spell it FX. So you wouldn't say fux. It's like,
Also, how people say Adidas sometimes instead
well,
of
that's
Adidas.
actually that's like the German because it's Adi Dassler that made it. So like that is technically correct, but then they say Nike incorrectly. They say Nike. So like it's tit for tat, whatever. Tomato, tomato.
Nvidia,
Nvidia released
Nvidia.
some news today. I am so excited. All right, let me just like take a breath because I need to like collect myself.
I also rip to anybody that upgraded their PC, like, within the last month or so.
You're kind of stupid for that. All right, like I
You're
don't know
one of them.
why. No, I did a streaming PC. I told you
Oh,
I've
okay,
been waiting. I got a nice old 1080 in here waiting to be thrown out. Not thrown
yeah,
out, but given to a friend. And
fair.
I'm getting the 3080. Now, they announced 3. They announced the 3080, the 3070, and the 3090. And now I said it in that order because that's the order that they showed it in.
Yeah.
But this thing, like, I can't even describe my excitement. Like, it's such a good value for the money. They're gonna give you the 3080 is like I don't know. They use all these like, cool hot words and like 2 times, 4 times. We don't know because nobody's got it in their hands yet. But basically better than the 2080 Ti, which launched at $1,200
Mhm.
for only 800. Now,
So, rip to anybody that bought that at
you
12.
dude, somebody in chat was like, "Dude, I bought a 2080 Ti yesterday." And everybody's like, "But why?"
F.
Like
Press
literally
F
why?
word. F.
Oh my goodness. Then if that wasn't enough, you're still like kind of like $800. That's kind of a lot of money, right? Like that's for the
Yeah.
enthusiast gamers and stuff. And they're like, hold on though. The 3070 also better than the 2080 Ti or 500.
Come
That's
on.
less than half
Come
of what it
on.
costed. They said the only thing that it beats it out in is memory. What's it called? 2080 Ti had
Well,
12
that's
gigabytes, and this one has like 8, which is still good. Like
so
it
then what's the point of even having 2080 on the market? Like, just throw it
no, like
away.
those are gonna go down in price. Like this happens every time. Like the previous gen goes down in price, and the new ones are good. But like these new ones are so valued like aggressively that it's gonna make like why would you even buy the last gen?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Now this is where it gets
500 bucks
funny.
for like a oh, I can't even imagine. That's like such a steal.
Yeah. Now like a lot of people are like, oh, but that's how much the consoles cost, and it's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
you really are still limited in console gaming and the fact that like you really only get up to 60 FPS 4K, whereas like these cards are going to be able to do well past
Yeah.
4K in 60 FPS. So like this is definitely enthusiast gaming, but
If anything, it proves that you should buy if you wanna be future proofed, you would go the PC route, spending 500 bucks on this.
exactly. Now they will probably announce like a 3060 as well. Like
Right.
cuz these are coming out at different times. The 3080 comes out September 17th. 3070 comes out
Oh, that's
sometime in
quick.
October. Yeah, like I'm trying to snag one day
Good
one.
luck. When's
Right.
pre-order up?
They haven't said you it's the notify me, which by the way, PS5 pre-orders like went live kind of through Sony's website, but you sign up with your gamer tag or your PSN ID, and then it just tells you like, "Okay." And then, like, we'll notify you if you're selected. And then, like,
So it's not a pre-order, it's a
it's
queue.
not. It's a queue, but they're giving the first come, first serve to players that have a PSN because there's some sort of shortage or something. Either way, that might be a nightmare. So, like, in the
So
event that I don't
I'm
get a
not getting a
PS5.
console until 2021.
Potentially, yeah. Like, you have a gamer tag, though, on PS5, so you could technically sign up. Remember when you played
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have to pay for it, you just have to have one. Anyway,
Oh.
I bet you don't even remember the name of it. I'll have to sign you up for you. Um, yeah, Imma say this, these GPUs here, in the event that I don't get a PS5 at launch, this is gonna cover, like, my excitement for a while. I'm not even gonna be that upset. I can deal without a first party PlayStation games for a couple of, months if that's
Yeah.
the case. Because like, it is shaping up, it looks like there, again, isn't gonna be anything to play at launch. So, if I can get one, I'll be happy. If I don't, I'll be fine.
Also, I heard that Sony wasn't gonna this is off topic, but they're not gonna backward compatible for past the PS4.
No,
So,
that's misread information. Ubisoft said that they were not going to. Like, we're gonna have PS4 games, but the PS3, PS2, PS1, we're not gonna mess with. And then they deleted it because I think got misinterpreted. So, like, everybody at this point is kinda like, we're just gonna wait to hear it out of the horse's mouth because, like,
and
for
we still don't
instance,
have a price.
we don't have a price, right?
This
Now,
is
speaking
stupid.
of price, people thought that these Nvidia graphics cards were going to be minimum over a grand. And look at where we are, $500. That's like way off. So
I
like,
wonder if that's gonna impact the consoles.
I mean, it could because some people that were kind of like thinking about going PCs, they might just like opt for that. Now that the PS5 might be harder to get.
And now that Xbox is like, yeah, we're just allowing anything to be on PC.
Yeah. So like PC might be having its time to shine with these new cards.
Might be
But
Microsoft being like future proofing their company, being like, you know what? People are all just gonna go towards PCs. We're on it.
yeah. So what I was gonna say though is the funny thing about these reveals of graphics cards is a lot of the time, in my case and a lot of other people's cases, they're spewing off like all these specs and like architecture that's like really cool for people that are like into that, like machine learning and into the architecture of that stuff. To me, it's like, okay, that's a fat number over my head. Like, cool, it's upgraded. Now, what does it run my games in? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
fair.
they're talking about CUDA cores and boost clocks and all this, and I don't frequently overclock my stuff, so I don't really care about this. like, I do like to see the graphs of like, okay, this is how much more performant it is than the previous year. But like, they're obviously going to give you some sort of like inflated things, and like they're going to angle it in a way where like one of the specs I saw was like, here's what it performs like in a computer that has like an i9 or 10 9. How do you even say that now? 10 900K, because now we're in the 10Ks with
Oh,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's hard to say. It
That's a
has
hard
a
one.
i9 10900K, 64 gigs of RAM, a beastie mother. I'm like, all right, that computer costs like $5,000. All right, like relax. So basically, I'm gonna wait until like, well, I'm gonna order it because I mean, I trust that it's gonna be good, but like, we're really gonna have to wait to see like Linus Tech Tips and other people get a hold of it and like put it into like consumer level stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but then they were like, "Hey, we know a lot of people use our stuff for video editing, like um, animation rendering, and a bunch of other creative things on top of gaming. We made a monster card. They call it the BF GPU, which is a play on
Doom.
BFG from Doom. The big fucking GPU, graphics processing unit. I love it. This thing is like, it takes up 3 slots on your PCIe. Like, so it still slots into 1 PCIe, but, like, the 3
It's
expansion slots on your case.
huge.
Massive. Now, this thing is thick. Is like, he held it to the thing, and it was, like, in his hands like this, and it was like a beast, and I was basically like, "Alright, this thing's massive, but what can it do?" Because I don't really care about the video editing and you know, animation stuff so much, because, like, I could do that on the 3080. Then they were like, "So, like, it can do 8K gaming at 60 FPS." They were like, "We cannot physically show you that on stream, so here's a video of us showing 4 streamers." Now, that's not gonna really do much for us, but one of the persons was Adam Sessler from G4, which is kinda funny considering G4 is coming back. And it was funny to see
Supposedly.
him talking again about games, because like, it was like, "Oh, there's that charisma that we remember from X-Play and things," so that was cool.
Supposedly, G4's coming back.
Supposedly. But also supposedly AK-60, because that's nuts. Like, first of all, we don't have monitors doing that yet that are, like, ready to be purchased, and especially if for the 3090 costs 1,500 bucks, which, again, is kind of a stupid deal, because previous cards that did this kind of thing years ago were like 2 grand. Like, they had things like the Titan that was in the 13 to 1,500 price range, but this like wipes the floor with that. Then they had like the Quadro, which is like specifically for video editing. It wasn't really good for gaming. Now this one is like in that level, but like half the price. Like, Nvidia's like going after AMD here, because AMD has always been the value. Like,
Yeah,
here's the value for your money. If you don't care about the bells and whistles, now they're like, we're giving you the bells and whistles for a good price point. So
it's fair.
I don't
And
know.
also, can we bring up the CEO? Um, we had a guy in our Discord bring up the photo of the CEO and how many spatulas he has in his fucking background.
Dude,
And I love how
he like leans into the memes though. Like, he's actually so funny about it, cuz he like grabbed the GPU from behind the spatula, so he's like trying to make you look at it. He grabbed
yeah,
the 3090 from his oven, because like there was a meme about that before. Like, this
so
guy's,
it's
he's
so weird.
always wearing a leather jacket. He's in his kitchen in a leather jacket, just like chatting about tech. Like, you got to love it.
His kitchen's immaculate though.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's,
that
like,
mantle above
not
his oven.
modern. It's, like, regal.
I When I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah,
I didn't realize we're going to freaking Chef Town over here, but okay.
yeah.
God,
It's funny. But, like, he also has a really soothing voice, so, like, I was just, like, enjoying here, like, you remember the PlayStation, like, professor, like, college professor joke we had, like, where that guy came up and just talked about tech, and we were kinda like, "What is this?" Like, this dude was talking shit to me that I didn't really understand, but I was like, "Keep going, man. Like, this is kinda cool."
like
I was
he's the
like,
type of guy I could sit at a happy hour with, not know anything he's talking about, but just sitting there drinking like, "Man, you crazy." Like, he just keeps talking, he just keeps talking.
exactly. Oh,
Uh,
man. But, like, this 8K 60 thing's got me thinking about how, like, every couple years, they have, like, tech come together and have leaps and bounds. Now, with 8K 60 now being, like, where we're dipping our toe into, it's well outside of the normal consumer range, but I think you give it a few years and, like, it'll become the norm. Now, I don't think that I'm gonna be early adopting 8K stuff because I'm fine at my 1440 144 hertz. But like when you think about how this stuff scales down, let's say we don't get 8K 60. We're somewhere in like the 6K 100. Like I don't know, like you kind of dumb it down. That means by the time we get down to my little 1440, I'm getting frames off the wazoo. Like I'm getting like 400 FPS playing something at 1440p with the card like that. So it makes me get like kind of excited about where we're going. Where like this 3080 might be doing some like crazy stuff where I might get like unnecessarily high frames playing at 1440. So like, because right now my 1080 is struggling to hit like 90 in most games because
Here, here's
it's kind of old.
here's one hot take that's a little conspiracy-ish. At what point do we advance so far that we're just like, and we've been in the Matrix all along? We just wanted to give you baby steps to what we developed for you, you Earth dwellers. Like, because if we keep going further and further above 4K, 6K, like all these different resolutions, and we're like, wow, it's getting so lifelike. Wow, it keeps getting better. Wow, it keeps getting better. And you're just like, hold on. In the past like 50 years, we've developed basically our real world in a computer. And you're just like, how old is the universe? And you're like, wait a minute. Start doing that math, and you're like, we're in the Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, because like some of these things, like I one time I heard a guy in a video when talking about Gran Turismo said that like the title of the video was like more than photorealistic, and I was like, what is this garbage? Let me just see. And then he was talking about how they can render like all these colors and like simulate the brightness of things, and then he came up with some bullshit answer. He's like, "We're rendering more colors than you would see actually be on that object. So it's technically better than photorealistic." And I was like, "But it just looks red to me. Like, what does that matter? Like, this is just well past the point of diminishing returns." So like that's where it's kind of like we need to step out of this lateral movement of like 8K, 12K, getting all up in there, and it's like, all right, we need to start moving towards the VR, making that look like 8K. You know what I mean? Like,
That
because
would be
right now,
scary. I don't know, that scares the shit like, if
but that's what's next, Keegan. That's what I'm
I
saying
know.
because we got 8K. Like, why does it need to be any better than that? And then it's like, then you go back to the VR and what now it looks like 480p. Like, it looks like trash.
Yeah, and you got, like, places oops, shit, I hit my mic. You got places that are, like, doing, like the go to a VR room or, like, arcade style for VRs, and, like, from people I've heard, it's not it's not, like, good by any means.
Yeah.
It's, like, years behind. So but that scares me because, like, if we have those arcades in place, right, where people just go to kind of escape and do VR for, like, 15 minutes or 30 minutes,
Mhm.
and then we start improving those to where it's lifelike. Like, pretty
We're gonna
soon
be an Inception.
not even like, I think the best one is the Rick and Morty, bit where they go to, that arcade, and it's, like, the life simulator,
Yeah.
and, like, Morty is, like, this old dude that's, like, selling rugs out of a business, and, like, he dies, and he thought, like, 70 years went by, and it was, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, if we get to that point, that's, like, freaky. Like, it
I
has
mean, that reminds me of, like, Ready Player One and, like I said, Inception, because like, he's like, "No, they don't come here to dream, they come here to wake up." So it's like, let me put on the VR so I can live life, and then you take it off, like, it's just but we got a way to go before we get there, but here's a scary thought about how we're getting there. We're talking about bringing in, like, machine learning and AI. They talked about that in this press conference. They were saying something, you know how we were talking about how, like, lip syncing in some games was being lazy?
yeah.
They've developed a reactive 3D model to your voice. So, like, you can, like, have the
Oh.
character animated, right? And then, like, they've had this with, like, Talking Tom, the app, and, like,
Yeah, I
Face
know,
Rig, but, like,
but
it, like did the full lips. And it wasn't like perfect, but it was way better than the fish mouth that we were seeing in other games. So like we're we're getting some crazy spots. Now, before you got things to say on that, let me pile some more because they showed, oh, we can give a video and make a 3D model based on the video, which is flat, by the way. So, like, they translated a little flat bird, like a real bird in video form, to a 3D model of the bird moving around. And I was like, "Huh?" How does that work? So, like, they're doing all this stuff with the engine of it behind not just the GPU, and if they start working that into games, like, we're gonna see higher quality games coming before we even render it with these GPUs.
And we haven't even seen Cyberpunk yet.
And that's funny because they did show a little clip of Cyberpunk with like, "Oh, this is what it's gonna look like." And they were like they have this new thing called DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling, which is just an upgraded version of like when you see like the finer little details, they're not gonna be so grainy and like it can like learn over time and spread that across games or something. So like it's no longer gonna have to learn based on a game. It can use those assets in every game that supports it. So like when you see the fine details in the distance, like they're not gonna look fuzzy anymore. Little shit like that. But they showed it in Cyberpunk and the game already looks good. And then like the streamer I was watching was like, I mean, shit, like, to be honest, I couldn't tell a difference. Like,
Yeah.
it looks good still, so, I don't
Well,
know.
my reaction to the lip thing is, yeah, it might help lip technology for like lip sync with video games, but what I worry about, and I don't know if it really matters for our level of things, but I would be worried as like a person posting videos or media because if they can translate like lip movement and voiceovers, I'm sure people can manipulate the shit out of it to do like deep fakes or like
Yeah,
use that technology against people for
mhm,
so that's worrisome.
and I forget if I told you before I left or not, but, like, there was a dude that automated his Zoom calls or his Google meetings with
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
pre-recorded, so, like, you combine that technology with the deep fake of yourself, like, I'm telling you, bro, the world's crazy. Like, we're moving to some crazy spots, and, like,
Dude,
these GPUs that Nvidia makes always do, like, more than just gaming. Like, I've seen them use it for 3D modeling in hospitals. Like,
yeah.
it's it it's just got such scalability, and it's gonna be kinda wild.
I'll tell you what, man, as we wrap up and we're wrapping up this year, I mean, it's been gut punches and wows and like shock value of what 2020 has done in both in advances of like what we have come to get and like what we have expected, you know. It's just like the other day, this past weekend with all the news that we're getting, I had to like decompress for like a solid 2 hours. Like when Black
Yeah, and it
Panther
was
died
kinda
and
cool that, like, I missed all the brunt force, and then I just caught the tail end of it because like, it sounded like a week to be alive.
well, and Black when Black Panther died, and like it was just the cherry on top of like just news of like either getting on Twitter or Facebook and just seeing, you know, high school people or other people that I know from college just post like the most stupid shit, and then you're reading that all the time. You're reading how dumb our politicians are. You're reading sad news. You're reading, you know, another person beloved by the world is that dead, and you're just keep reading, and then all this other exciting stuff comes up, and you're all hyped, and then you go back to your phone, you're all like, oh shit, and you're like getting all sad and shit. I had to like just set my phone down and like watch Bob Ross for 2 hours, like just like completely,
Painting
completely
some
zen
little
out.
trees, clouds, birds, all the rest. Bro, I'm
But
telling you, just go to Utah. Just get out, go to
I
Utah
would
for a
love to
week,
go. I would love
have
to
no
go.
cell service, maybe take some pre-recorded Bob Ross, and he could teach you how to paint the landscapes as you as you take in the beauty.
But we are glad that this is the piece of media you guys are watching for your 2020
Hey,
news. We hope you
some
guys keep watching.
mood,
We hope you keep watching. We hope that we compressed 4 hours worth of knowledge, or not 4 hours, but 4 episodes worth of knowledge into
which
one.
would be 4 hours.
Yeah, would be. Yeah, I guess I was right. I guess I was right. We hope you're enjoying it. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave us some comments, join our Discord, be a part of the conversation. We got some active users in there, and I'm always on it. So like, just say, "Hey, Keegan, you ugly." I'll respond. I'm sure I'll be there.
He doesn't
Or
respond to me though.
no, no, he left me in the dust for a week. So please join the community, help us out, give us some feedback, and as always, we appreciate your watch or listen.
Gibbs is trying to take the end from me. He's saying he'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, see you guys next week.